know who you just stopped with? I'm a retired New York City principal.
Oh.
But I'll be happy to answer your questions.
I guess like for hair and stuff like that, or makeup, chemicals in it, nail polish, if you inhale it or drink it or anything.
The air was still full of debris, chemicals. It smelled of burning rubber. And for several blocks all the way around, there was this fine ash all over, and you could smell, you could breathe in some of the ash. My own feeling about nuclear power, I think we should immediately shut down the Indian Point plant, which is only 25 miles from where we stand. Something goes wrong, we lose the city.
We're group 6 and we're doing chemicals.
Got a filter room where it's coming out.
Maybe enact some laws to like restrict like emissions that companies are able to produce. Construction maybe, for starters.
Have better recycling efforts, like especially with electronics, to clean up with factories and so forth.
How about eliminating cars from the city, like personal cars?
Less cars, air pollution. Less cars.
I guess through education, like commercials, that kind of thing.
More information in the newspaper besides what Charlie Sheen is doing. And the impact on the environment and what it does to us as a whole, either now or in the future.
This was a definite learning experience.
We had a lot of fun interviewing people.
We love New York City.
It was really interesting.
It was really nice there.
It's great to find out what people think about chemicals.
I enjoy working with all these people.
I learned a lot today.
I learned a lot too.
It's hard to get an interview in New York.
Great to end it off.
Buy water bottles. You buy a water bottle, fill it up.
And the
use it consistently.
fabricated like grocery bags, do you use those?
No, I usually use the grocery bags.
I mean my last cell phone I recycled it actually, and I recycled the battery for it. They had actually in my university at the time they had a bin to do like recycle your old cell phones, recycle the batteries from them.
We kind of like walking to school because it's really close, and I don't like using the train that much because it gets pretty much crowded pretty fast, and there's really bad odors, and I don't like it.
Public transportation. Why?
I wouldn't want to drive in the city. And I don't live here, but I'm a bad driver. And it's just, I find driving really stressful, which is part of the reason why I'm a bad driver. So if there's a public transportation option, I usually go for that.
Definitely drive.
Why?
because it's easy. It's more easier to get around for me personally. I don't live in Manhattan, so I live in Queens, so it's easier to, go around Queens without public transportation, because sometimes the buses stop, sometimes trains take a little longer, so I would have to say driving.
I prefer to take public transportation.
Why?
It's a lot easier, a lot less stress.
The monitors go through like such a hard time, and it's such a risk that I think it should be. I think they should make it a little bit more safe for them.
The wealth of diamonds was artificially created by a group of people that will go nameless, and they've convinced everybody that everybody must have a diamond engagement ring before they get married, which I think is ludicrous. Diamonds are valuable in industrial applications for cutting stuff. That's about it.
Good afternoon. My name is Mohammed Wasim. I'm from the Intrepid LIFTT program here in Harlem. We're here to ask the citizens of Harlem how waste management and recycling affects their everyday lives.
Hi, my name is Denisha, and I'm a fellow lifter of the LIFTT program, and I am at 125th Street to talk about waste in the neighborhood.
I don't think that, like for the building that I live in, they don't provide us with the recycling cans. Or we just throw all the trash out together.
Because possibly you put them outside in the cans and stuff like that.
Yes.
Many times you put them out, they get taken. And they just don't make the time for it. I don't think it's hard at all to recycle if you take the time to separate everything like you're supposed to.
Well, okay, because I'm from New York, but I go to school in Buffalo, and like it's two totally different things. Because here, like you see trash everywhere, but there's a trash can on every corner. But if you were to go to Buffalo, you don't see any trash cans, but you don't see trash on the floor. So I feel like we can take better care of our community, but nobody really wants to because they feel like it's too much of a responsibility when it really isn't.
Yeah, it really is sad, because especially knowing that so many people around the world that don't have and are suffering, and to see us here in America, we just take so much for granted, allowing things to go to waste and neglected. So I feel bad about it.
I don't like it. Because waste brings vermin and all types of things that you really don't want in the community, and it doesn't really look nice. It's good, you rather recycle than see the garbage go into the oceans and places like that. I read that they go into the oceans, they kill the fish, they kill the environment, the wildlife, so recycling is good for the community.
The very, very rich people want you to recycle so they can make money, but they don't want the people who are poor and unemployed to take the money that they make off of recycling goods and benefit the people that live in the community. If you do that, then recycling is good. But if it's only going to go for the rich people, no good.
I think that it's really good. I think that it's an ideal situation, and I don't think it always works.
Right now, it's not good. Remember what happened to in the winter when the garbage people didn't even come and pick it up for like 3 weeks?
I think that the government is doing all they can, but it's really up to the individuals like ourselves to do our part.
Again, awareness. I don't think the government has put an all-out effort to make people aware. Secondly, okay, they may have all the regulations on paper, but they're not enforcing anything. I mean, just for example, they have all the regulations, but yet they don't provide dispensers publicly for the public to participate in the recycling.
I think that part of it might B, we're in such a big city and we have very limited space, so to recycle you have to kind of separate lots of things, which means you need lots of bins, which means you need lots of places to have the bins in your house. So maybe people kind of get lazy and think about themselves in the moment instead of thinking about the long term for the environment.
They're doing the best they can. We need young brains to come up with good ideas to see what the future will bring without getting rid of waste.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Carla.
I'm Jose.
I'm Denisha. And today we spoke to residents in Harlem, and they were able to express their opinions in camera about how they feel about recycling. I think it was a really good experience because we give citizens in Harlem and people passing by Harlem a voice, and maybe with this we could make a difference.
I also like how most people around here, they admit that they don't really recycle, but they also admit that they don't really have a chance to recycle. And that's really cool.
There are people very aware of recycling, and then there are some people that don't choose to do it. But there are those who are there to correct them, and who are very passionate about recycling, and wish that there was more ways that the community could come together and keep their area cleaner.